Actually, which camera do I need to look into? This one? This one. Hi, I'm Jason Klamm. Nope. Hi, I'm Jason Klamm. I host the Comedy on Vinyl podcast. I run the Stolen Dress Podcast Network. I am the professional blurrer. It's also a podcast I do. And every once in a while, I like to come out here and hit my microphone and put a little bit of something up here on YouTube about something I've been working on. I have way too many side projects, and between my side projects I have way too many different ways to kind of relax and let off steam. My favorite one is Lego. I'm not a big fan of YouTube jump cuts, but I literally just smashed into my microphone again. Jesus Christ. Okay. This that just fell apart. This is so my best friend and I, Dan Gomiller. This is Dan. This is me. We podcast together. Dan lives in Boise. I live in Burbank. I made this little thing of us podcasting together about 6 years ago. Once we started it. So it's hard to find headphones actually for Lego people. Fortunately, there's one that worked for him. And while I don't wear hats a lot, I I put a hat on him on me because my hair wouldn't match that one. I've since started wearing more hats, I guess, for verisimilitude, just so I match my Lego guy. This is not what this is about, but I wanted to just show you that I try and turn many things in my life into Lego because it's relaxing, and it's also this weird it's this way you can sort of fit things into this little box, and it can be relaxing for verisimilitude's sake. Now, for that, those words are happening out of my mouth. So here's something that I've been working on for a while. That's a lie. It didn't take that long, but it's something I've been thinking about. So I made these a while ago. These are Lego cassette tapes. Now, I would like to put little reels inside them. I haven't quite figured out the best way to do that. I might actually suspend some little tires, some little rubber tires. There's a black one. They have different types of holes in them as well. But yeah, so I've got these two cassette tapes made out of Lego. You'll see this one does not. I don't have a single, a 1x1 smooth gray one. So I had a dark, it was very annoying. It's one of the reasons I made a black one, so it'd be uniform. Anyway, I like how cassette tapes look, and these actually fit in cassette player. You can't, can you see it from there? I really don't think you'll be able to see it if I pop this out. No, you can see nothing. I could be making this up, but here, let's see, I put it in there. It goes in. It goes in, I promise. It just doesn't close because the holes don't line up perfectly, but whatever. This will fit in. Oh wait, do I have another cassette? Maybe I have a better cassette player to give you an idea. Whatever, these fit in. Again, this is not what this is about. I feel like I'm burning episodes, although what kind of an episode would be, well, if I say that, then you're going to be a little, whatever. So this is another thing I've been working on. This is Lego VHS. Now, Dan and I started comedy together when we were 13 and 14 back in 12 and 13 back in 1992, eventually, the following year, the following year or the year after. Hi, I'm a professional speaker, man. One way or another, we have about 60 VHS tapes that we recorded on over the course of like 5 years. It's crazy. We've been doing the podcast more than we really did anything on VHS together, and I don't know. I'm not a big nostalgia freak. Disregard the fact that I do a podcast about comedy albums. It's not about that. Anyway, but there's this. So you can see I've got these little, the clear bricks. Behind that, you've got the reels. It's as smooth as I can. I'd like to put a label on here if I can. Hello. I used to get as smooth as possible and a nice uniform look. These are the little stands that minifigures come on. If you buy minifigures, it's also what's on the side. It's a little off. But what's fun is that this opens. So and so here's the back side of it. I tried to fit the kind of little chunks that are taken out in most cassette tapes, and that is you can see those little round bits are the reels. You might be a little annoyed why there's so many gray pieces back there. I ran out of the right black pieces because these are very specific black pieces, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But regardless, that'll be fixed one day. But there's a little hole because there's a hole in cassette tapes. The bottom is, oh yeah, actually I did customize that, so you can see that's where a little chunk would be taken out for the recording tab. Imperfect, but I like how it looks. But I'm mostly excited by the fact that it opens. I mean, come on. So this has been, had a guest on the Comedy on Vinyl podcast the other day who had to come back in the room to check. He's like, is that a LEGO VHS tape? Was I imagining things? So yeah, and then got the little ramp slanty pieces there so that this opens easier, because the original version I had kept falling apart. So there, this is a Lego VHS tape. It just about like this close to fits in a Lego box. It's a little, just smidge bigger, but I mean by microns, I swear. But yeah, that is something I've been excited about. Some point I'm going to show you some other Lego stuff I've been working on the past on this channel. I've had my Lego Pez dispenser. I've been working on another version of that is way more complicated, a little more Rube Goldberg-y, that I kind of would like to show you. It's behind me, you cannot really see it. I've got my Lego Cheers set. We're talking a very large set of the TV show Cheers. Up there you can see it, but I'll talk about it more in detail, my Lego Monopoly. And then we'll maybe, talk about some of my props and things, my prop recreations that I've done. I'm a big fan of the show News Radio. That's what that is about, that orange thing. And actually, believe it or not, those shirts right there are also about that. Big fan of the show News Radio, and I've been recreating props from that show when I can, and when I get my hands on the real ones. Also working on a News Radio set in Lego, but that's going to take a little bit longer. That one's not done. So anyway, I just thought I would show you something that I thought was interesting, and that is, several things, but hi. I'm a Lego man. I don't glue. See, here's the thing. I don't glue these together. So what happens is they break sometimes. When I say sometimes, I mean, a significant portion of the time if you're manhandling them, person handling them like an idiot. So that's what I did. I just broke that. I hope you enjoyed it while it was still put together. I'm Jason Klamm, and this is Jason Does Something.
Hey, it's my turn.
Hi, I'm Jason Klamm. I'm the host of the Comedy on Vinyl podcast and several others, and I run the Stolen Dress podcast network. I'm here to tell you about a new show called The Professional Blur. When I first came out to LA a few years ago, I made my money the way a lot of people do. Background acting. I'm in a little bit of everything, from stuff you probably don't remember and stuff I definitely don't remember, to movies like The Aviator or shows like Mad Men, where when you can see me, I'm mostly out of focus. Now I'm starting a new podcast called The Professional Blur, where I interview friends and other industry folks about their experience with extra work. Sometimes they're waiting around to get a line, like myself, and don't exactly get one. Sometimes they're folks who get a line or get an entire career out of that line. This is a poker chip from the television show Las Vegas. I was advised to act drunk, but I hadn't really been drunk yet. The AD, the assistant director, stopped the shot. This is a room the size of an actual casino floor, with about 50 to 100 extras on it. He singled me out in front of all of them and said, "Hey, Mr. Stumbles, do you want to tone it down a notch?" Needless to say, I acted better that day. I mean, it's a little hard to call extra work acting. It is. It can be, especially if you're really pretentious, like I was. I think you'll enjoy the behind-the-scenes stories of myself and my guests, as well as our segments like 5 and Over, where we take somebody's extra role and then you expand that into your own spin-off. Maybe my friend who had a couple of lines on Grey's Anatomy will take his EMT character and spin him off into a sitcom. Maybe my friend who is in a very famous beer commercial will take his character and give him his own dark docudrama. I haven't even thought about what I'd do. Clearly all of my characters were thieves, so please check out the Professional Blur podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you find podcasts. If you've got your own stories that you'd like us to share, write to theprofessionalblur@stolendress.com. You can send us something written, you can send us your screen captures, you can even send us a voice message and we can use it on the podcast. Also, if you want to see how this whole thing started, you can go to Instagram. I'm at Jason Klamm. My hashtag is theprofessionalblur. You can see everything that I've ever done, going back to when I was on Boomtown with Michael T. Williamson, or you can see one of my most recent being pretty heavily featured in Drunk History with Elijah Wood. If nothing else, come for the theft. I'm so sorry, Josh Duhamel.